Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. I believe most of our participants are from Hong Kong. So, welcome all of you to today's webinar. My name is Veena Dansingani, and I am the sorry, I'm the founder director of Naveda Integral Wellness Center. We are an award-winning Integral Wellness Center, and we are located in Hong Kong, in the heart of Tsim Sha Tsui, right opposite the Peninsula Hotel. We offer, our center offers various kind of solutions to your hair and health concerns, combining nature and science. And we have helped and supported thousands of people over the years, locally and globally, since 2015 myself personally. So I specifically help both men and women with alopecia, which is a medical term for various different types of hair loss concerns. And I'm truly passionate about the subject, and I will let you know very soon why I'm truly passionate about the subject. So hair is a very real problem, as we know, right? Let me see, I think I've got some more guests coming in. Yes. So it would be wonderful if you could turn on your videos so that I could see your beautiful faces and I could interact with all of you rather than, just see, a static image of yourself, because then I wouldn't know who I'm communicating with. This is really a very interactive session. It's not something where you just sit down and listen. We would really like to question you, answers, we'd like a Q&A session from all of you, okay? So thank you so much for whoever has opened up the videos. So yes, as I was saying that hair fall, hair is a very real problem to not only women, but also men. So both men, women, and these days even children, okay? So it's a very, very common thing these days. And, I've been practicing and helping and supporting people since 2015. And from my experience, I see there are certain very common traits of why people are losing hair these days. And this is not only in Hong Kong, this is actually all around the world. It seems to have become a very common problem, a top problem. And many people tend to be losing hair because of, number one, is their diet, their lifestyle habits, using too many chemicals, whether it's in their skincare, hair care, even what they're eating, their lifestyle, hormonal imbalances. Coming down to these days, a lot of people are stressed, they're anxious, or they're depressed. So a lot of mental issues are also leading to hair problems as well. And of course, cancer as well, people who are suffering from cancer, after they sort of go through chemotherapy and they also lose their hair, right? So there are lots of different reasons why people are losing hair, and it's getting more, it's from what I've seen in the last 5 years myself personally, that it's becoming more and more and more and more common, and it really hits from a very young age. So young age, as in when I'm saying, one of the things that I've really seen increasing is alopecia areata, where you get these bald spots appearing randomly overnight. Everything could be fine. The next day when someone wakes up, or when they're visiting the salon, and the hairdresser will tell them, hey, there's a bald spot over there. And then this bald spot sort of like spreads around all over your scalp. And then if you don't take care of it, it eats away your entire scalp's hair. It eats away your eyebrows. It eats away the entire body's hair. So this is not only happening to adults, this is also happening to very young children and even babies. I'm getting more and more common in young kids as well. So why? Why is it happening so? Why is it going in that direction? you know, affecting from kids to teenagers, to young adults, to women going through pregnancy, post-pregnancy, hormonal changes, perimenopausal, postmenopausal, seniors. So every age is actually suffering from this, um, I wouldn't call it disease, but some, you know, a very strong concern. It's a very strong concern indeed. And, people tend to be very, very, what I've noticed is that when people suffer from these kind of issues, they become very crazy. They kind of look for solutions here, left, right, center. They try to find any shampoos. They try to find any tonics. They're trying to find quick solutions, and it's never ending. They're not really able to get to the root of the problem, and they're not really able to find a solution of how it can really, what can they do to really solve this in a very natural way, in a very integral way, in a very holistic way. All right, so going to that, I definitely want to let you know that I previously, of course, I'm very passionate about this subject myself, is because 6 years ago, you know, I mean, you know, I lost a lot of my hair. I lost 70% of my hair in 1 month, you know, and being a female at that age, I was 38, very young, I'm still very young, to lose that much hair in 1 month it was very, very traumatic. It was very depressing. It was very traumatic. It was very disturbing. And to really get to the root of the cause, that is how I solved my problem. Of course, I also tried to go here and there, you know, trying to get solutions from wherever I could. But main thing is that I found my solutions in nature, and not only in nature, but understanding how the body operates, what it needs to function to its optimum level, thus making sure that my hair was growing well, my health was getting better. So it's like, you know, that is what really inspired me to make a difference and help other people as well, because I see not only women, but men going here and there, right and left, spending like, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, but not really getting to the root of the problem, or not getting a very effective and long-term solution. A lot of people, they get into very short-term solutions and then only finding out that they've made their situation even worse. So Naveda is really designed to give you the right solution. It's no need to like really run here and there. We can provide you a solution, and we can provide you a solution to advise you, to educate you, to empower you to find the right solutions. So today we have actually invited Dr. Sanjay, Dr. Sanjay Nagakar, who is our in-house scientist, who will be sharing with us and giving us knowledge on, you know, how science and biology really play a big role in understanding hair. So just to let you know a little bit about Dr. Sanjay, he is he's a renowned microbiologist. He's a scientist, and he's a microbiologist. He's got a PhD from the University of Hong Kong. And he has published more than 100 scientific papers, research articles, reports, conference abstracts, and he has invented over 83 technologies in preventive healthcare, environmental science, ecology, nutraceuticals, functional food, and he's very, very passionate about human health, planet health, degenerative diseases, communicable diseases, nutritional issues, therapy, and so on. So I would really like, it's my pleasure and honor to have him here to really talk to us about the scientific and biological aspect of the impact of stress, on how it can really impact hair, and not only hair, but health as well. And when we look at solutions, what's the direction that one should really take to find a very integral solution from nature, and combining nature and science together. So Dr. Sanjay is here with us. So the floor is all yours, Dr. Sanjay.
Thanks, Veena. Thanks for the introduction. Hello, everyone. I can see so many faces once again here. That's nice. We are actually doing this kind of like a seminar series for many years, but especially in the Corona time period, like we started like on 11th of January. And we are basically like educating people, community. Let's use the word community. What my belief is like, we are a scientist and we belong to a scientific community. Our language is very different from what you read, listen on a daily basis in different kind of like the media, magazines, like YouTube's everywhere, or Google, right? So the whole idea is like when we see like what kind of information we have and what is in a public domain. So in a very simplest form, I can explain this, that a lot of information in a public domain is a lot of like a marketing language. Okay, they try to sell the concept or the idea or something like which you believe in. Whereas in science, is a pure mathematics, is a science. 2 + 2 = 4, right? So like we all know 2 + 2 = 4. If someone say 4.5 or 2.9, it doesn't work. It has to be 4, right? There has to be a justification. That's what we have to understand. This is very important. So the people I think Mahadev Vasani, can you mute your speaker? Yeah, thank you. So if I can see other people and see like if anyone has any specific hair problem, because today we are going to talk about the stress and the hair, right? There's a lot of relationship between the stress and the hair. So people have a lot of perceptions about hair. There are so many different types of causes for hair fall. But today I will focus only on stress and hair fall. Okay. So Veena can talk more about in detail types of hair falls or what are the other issues. Let's focus here today how your stress can affect your hair. So hair was always considered or is considered as a part of the beauty. Okay, so it's like more like a beauty product. Like, okay, so the hair salon and hair thing is mostly as a part of like a beauty product. It was never considered as like the health side, right? So when you have a hair problem, you never think about from the health point of view and always like a beauty point of view. That is the first impression, right? But that is a funny thing, except the genetic cause, rest of the all hair fall is related to medical side or health side. But we, instead of like trying to fill the solution from biological point of view or medical point of view, we try to fill the solution from cosmetic point of view or beauty point of view. And that's why these days you hear a lot of like there's a hair transplantation and all those kind of things. So here, like, let's put in this way, if I can see some of the people, like how many of you like means your hair looks pretty thick and good, the people I can see, right? So can you raise your hand, like if any one of you are concerned about like falling hair, like a little bit more on a regular basis, or so I can see how many people raise the hand, right? So I can see some people raising hand. Who else? Veena, can you like help me to find out like how many people in this room have a hair problem? Veena, your speaker is muted. Mute.
I'm saying how many of their videos are closed. There are only about 2, 3, 4 people whose videos are on. And let me ask them a question.
Yeah.
So can you just, everybody, if you're not willing to turn on your videos, just type in your chat if you are currently facing any concerns with your hair. Or just, you have under chat, you must be having a raising your hand. Typo, no, nobody is actually saying anything.
Okay, so yeah, we can see like Mahadev. Yeah, okay, thanks. So the whole idea is stress. Let's focus on this stress, right? Or the brain health. Over the time period, this is the one type of the health we are shy to talk about. We think like, oh, we have something wrong if we talk about this particular health, right? That is our mental health. So every person has anxiety, every person has a panicking, every person has fear, every person has depression, but we don't talk about it. Okay, we deal with it quietly and we try to relate with our behavior problem. And what happened in our society, I'm like hitting very hard to the point. In our society, we tag people, oh, he or she is a good guy or he or she is a bad person, right? Just pure face value based on what we are hearing and taking from the behavior of that person, without going deep into this our understanding that there is a lot to do with the brain biology or our brain chemistry, you can say. So this is the thing in 21st century, what we have to learn, that everything, whatever you are doing, your performance, your happiness, your health, whatever you are today is just because of your brain chemistry. Your brain is your driving force. This brain is working in a certain way. If I say I know you more than yourself, you should not be surprised, because you know your behavior, but you don't know your brain chemistry. We as a scientist, we can decode your brain chemistry, that how your brain behave, how your brain operate, what chemicals are releasing, and it is allowing you to do what kind of activities. You see like certain people like always like more angry, some people are less angry, some people are more irritated, some people are less irritated, some people are always happy. You see so many variety of the people, and these are all due to the brain chemicals. So how many of you have heard about neurotransmitter? I believe like everyone must heard about neurotransmitters, right? So I think like if you really want to make your life really happy, you should pay little bit attention every day to learn about neurotransmitter. Not on a surface level, go like little bit more deeper level. Surface level, if you read like, okay, we heard about neurotransmitter, we heard about happiness, happy chemicals, we heard about serotonin, we heard about like oxytocin, we heard about like this so many kind of what you say like a different neurotransmitters. But knowing the name and knowing the function is not enough. You have to ask the question why. If you have a more serotonin, why you have a more serotonin, like that. So this is first is just put it over here, is a neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter is nothing but is a set of chemicals in our brain which our body release. Now, how this chemical release? This chemical is not released by your wish. That's what your autonomous nervous system, the way you the way you have your lifestyle, the way you like think, the 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 food you eat, the existence, like the intensity of your exercise, so many things compound together and prepare your brain chemistry to release certain kind of chemicals, right? So what you have to notice, like some of you have a more chemical released, and some of you have a less chemical release. These chemicals are in two sides. One is the positive, let's spotlight the positive chemical, and second one, I will call it the negative chemical. To make it a simple a language, right? Language like a layman language. Positive chemical, negative chemical. Negative chemical make you like more anxious, depressed, always think a negative thing. There are so many people in our life you meet, like means if you say something, the first thing they have a suspicion or doubt, right? There are a lot of people you meet in your life, you doesn't matter whatever you talk, they have doubt. There are then many people you meet in your life, you doesn't matter whatever you say, they said okay, let's do it, like they are very always very positive. These are the things you have to notice around notice in people around you. Okay, this is the most important fundamental thing. It's not a human behavior, it's not a personality. No motivational coach can motivate someone. Okay, science is progressing a lot and we are learning a lot about science. What we didn't know 10 years back, now we know a lot about that. Okay, so this is one of the progress is neurotransmitters. So these are the different things. So keep this in mind. There's a bad chemicals, there is a good chemicals. Good chemicals keep you happy, keep you motivated, allow you to do all the nice things. Bad chemicals keep you always like a negative attitude, like keep it like slow, sad, all sort of things are there. So now let's put like the condition. Like there are so many things going on. Take the corona condition right now. So in a corona situation, so many people have uh, negative thoughts. Start with the negative thoughts. Oh, life is like really very boring, we cannot do anything, it became stagnant, we don't have a freedom, like so many. You start making a list of the things which you have a complaint, right? But then there's the other type of people who said okay, this has happened, let's take the life as it is. Okay, the phase will pass through. So you see, this is the thing you have to understand. It is not a personality. This is going on, the chemistry going on, the chemicals releasing in your mind, two set of the people. So one of the set of the people just they can't hold themselves. They just have a complaint, and it's just like we have to hold them. Like they just want to do something. They just can't stop. They can't slow down. Okay. In other words, you can say the people like some people are very stubborn, very strong mind people like that. So these are very negative in a layman language. Okay, so I'm not using the technical language, I'm using the layman language, a very negative type of people. They just don't have a control over their emotion. Okay, and they always have a doubt, they always have like a bleak perspective of everything. Okay, now come to the positive side of it. You meet so many people. This world is very beautiful, and the beauty of this world is just because of that a handful or a very low number of this positive mind people. Okay, those who are like driving their life with the positive attitude. Doesn't matter how much negative you have, right? So that many people say, doesn't matter how the adverse situation is, but I'm strong enough to deal with the adverse situation. Okay, so it's like it's like that. So that's the positive attitude. So there are positive neurotransmitters. So I will take like this two name. One is obviously everyone knows about serotonin. Yeah, you heard about serotonin. Okay, and then second one is a dopamine. Okay, so dopamine is a more like a kind of a kick kind of a chemical, and serotonin is more like make you like more relaxed and like allow you to like it's more like a relaxed kind of things. Why I'm saying this, because this happiness chemical, like all this neurotransmitter, is directly related to our stress. What happened, like if you're too happy, like okay, so suppose like everything we all know, we need to do the things in balance. So you look into your life, and you can get a very beautiful example by looking at your life, that do you perform your activities or your lifestyle is balanced, or you are happy or you are not happy. Okay, So there are three situations here: balance, happy, not happy. But now I'm putting two more situations into it. You're too much happy. Okay. When you're too happy, you are into the hyperactivity category. That's also not good. It's called hyperactivity. Means your neurotransmitters are into the hyper side. It's going much higher. We don't need that much. So I would like to give another example here, that the blood pressure. So we say we have a normal blood pressure, we have a range of the blood pressure. Or I give a better example, actually, heartbeat, because a lot of people actually die because of lack of knowledge in the heartbeat, but they think like it's a heart attack. Quickly want to share this knowledge. There's a difference between the cardiac arrest and the heart attack. Okay, heart attack is a cardiovascular disease where like we have a blockage, and then because of the blockage, the blood supply is stopped and there's a heart attack. Cardiac arrest is basically when the heartbeat, the normal heartbeat is a 72 per minute. Okay, when it reach over 100 in a resting stage, that thing called tachycardia, means the heartbeat is too high. So that is the thing most of the people don't know, and they never bother about it to measure their heartbeat. If your heartbeat is 72 and in the resting stage and the talking stage, if it is beating 88, 90, 92, 94, that's not a very good sign. It means your heart is working very hard on this, right? But in a medical condition, they are saying like, okay, if it is below 100, it's like, okay, normal medical condition. Same, you go down, it's like somewhere around 60 beats per minute. Okay, and if it goes below 60, then it's a bradycardia, like that. How many of you in your life is aware about the tachycardia and bradycardia? I think like this is the sports activity. This is a lifestyle activity. Every person should be aware about tachycardia and bradycardia. What I believe, if the people understand about tachycardia and bradycardia, we can save so many deaths around the world, so many deaths. So what actually happened that because of this hyperactivities and a lot of anxiousness, the heartbeat start getting faster. Okay, this is one of the things you have to understand this. That's what we call it palpitation. So many people have this palpitation. So one of the problem, like when people have worry, whether it is worry or too much excitement, in both situation, it affects the heart rates and it started going up. So exercise is not the only way. Exercise is this, like when the heart rate goes up, and then when you stop the exercise, it comes down. But in this scenario, what happened? The heart rate started going up even when you are sitting. You are not doing anything. That's where the situation is bad. Okay, and no one measure, right? They only say, oh, we have a palpitation. Right now, what is your, all of the viewers over here, what is your heart rate? You don't know because you never measure. So what I'm saying, in a normal lifestyle, we need to measure our heart rate as well. It's a lot of indication about our brain status. Okay, so in a very simple way, that we can measure our brain chemicals or status of our brain by looking at our heart rate. Okay, what is the pulse reading? I'm coming into the Ayurveda. What is the pulse reading? Pulse reading is basically your heart rate, right? Even if you go to the allopathy doctor, you put the hand on the pulse, okay, because there is no machine. Like the old fashioned thing is they put the finger on over here and they measure your pulse rate. That's your heartbeat. If the heartbeat is high, it means you have a lot of different kind of like problems in the body. So if the pulse is like going very fast, you have a lot of problems. If the pulse is getting too slow, you have a lot of problem too. Okay, so this is the thing people don't understand. So you need to follow it. Now what happened, like over a time period you ignored, you have like this kind of like mental, whether it is like anxiety or any other condition which is affecting your heart rate, you think like I'm getting worried, but actually the biological situation is your heart rate started going up and up and up. And sometime when you are sleeping, okay, or you are going somewhere and you are very much worried, it triggers some kind of message from the brain to your heart that heart rate started beating of 140, 150, 160 per minute. Okay, and that's where people die. It's called cardiac arrest. They don't have any heart problem. That's what you have to understand. They don't have any heart problem. They die because of the stress. Now, because of the medical term, we use the word, okay, the person died because of the cardiac arrest or heart attack. So we say, oh, it's a heart problem. No. If you understand from the lifestyle point of view, that person died because of the stress. So that's what you have to understand. Stress can kill people. Stress can introduce tachycardia. Tachycardia, when the heartbeat goes over 100, and when it goes like in a resting stage, like when you're sleeping, 150, 60 means it's going up, like beating so fast, no blood is coming in, so no oxygen is reaching. So that's what the people die. That's cardiac arrest. If you are depressed for a very, very long time period, it goes other way around. Your heart doesn't beat very fast. It starts beating slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay. In both cases, what is happening, when it is beating very fast, the blood is not going. When it is beating very slow, blood is not going. In both cases, what is happening, your organ is not getting enough oxygen. Okay. Now, this is the thing, how interesting it is. So I just give you the example from the heart point of view. Now, for a minute, go into your hair. Like same like heart, hair is the second indicator where you can see something is going wrong because it is connected. So what happened, like when enough oxygen is not reaching to any organ, that organ is not functioning properly. Okay. And when the organ is not functioning properly, the malfunction you can see. So the scalp, it is a hair. If the scalp is not getting enough oxygen, okay, obviously the scalp cannot hold the hair and hair will start falling. So now this is the connection you have to say. Stress directly cannot make hair fall. In every situation, heart is involved. In every situation, oxygen is involved. Is a sequencing. Okay. So if you fix the heart, if you fix the oxygen, if you fix the blood, and if you fix the nutrition, everything fixes back. Okay. So this is the thing, like we have to understand the cycle, how it goes and connect, right? This is very important. So your brain neurotransmitter is affecting your heart. Heart is get affected, so it's affecting its pumping rate. Its pumping rate is affecting its pumping rate is affecting its what you say, the amount of the blood is going to the organ and taking the oxygen to the organ. When the enough oxygen is not reaching to the organ, so many things happen. Okay, so that's a theory number one, the hair fall. Now come to the theory number two, which is all similarly connected. Theory number two is, if anyone, those who are deep into the hair, they know, like if the cortisol level is very high. So when you are stressed, okay, what happens? The cortisol level go very high. Cortisol is a kind of hormone. So right now I talk about the neurotransmitter. Now I'm talking about hormone. Cortisol is a hormone. This hormone released by the perineal gland. Perineal gland is a kind of a V-shaped gland which sit on the top of our kidney. Okay, so it's basically in the both side on the top of our kidney. but the message in the cortisol is coming from our hypothalamus to the pituitary, and from the pituitary to to the perineal gland. So now it is a hormonal system again, but the message is coming from your brain to your perineal gland. And the moment any person is little bit stressed, the brain gives the signal and there's a lot of cortisol produced. But when it's cortisol go to the brain to calm it down, it has a side effect. What is a side effect of the cortisol? It affects the hair follicles. Okay, it affects the hair follicles means like, it's just like, imagine that like there's a plant, okay, like say the rice plant, or any kind of plant, like say rice. Okay, so you go for the farm and there's a lot of rice plants are there, but you put certain kind of chemical which basically destroy the root of that plant, then the plant will lose the ability to suck all the nutrient and everything's like that, right? And the plant will die. Same thing happen in our body. The cortisol destroy the hair follicles, means destroy the root of the hair, and the moment the roots are destroyed, the nutrient is not able to go to the hair, and the hair start falling. This is very important part, like the cortisol kind of things. Now, the release of the cortisol is come from brain. I like to share some kind of like, I want to ask you a question. I have like a beautiful questionnaire over here. And if you think like, so the idea here is two things, right? One is you have a stress, but how to know you have a stress? The stress is not about like your physical symptom, right? Biologically, stress is measured by cortisol level. So unless you do the blood test, you cannot measure your cortisol level. So you can see only the behavioral thing. So I have a kind of a questionnaire. Let me see whether I can share it. And if I don't share it, I read it, and we know how to share something if I want to share.
Is it a PowerPoint or is it a...
No. It's just a picture.
So you have to share screen. If it is saved on your desktop or on your laptop, you just have to press the button share screen.
In Zoom?
Yep.
I have a share content is written, not a share screen.
Yeah, okay. Try. Can you try that?
Share content, if I say, only the host can share in this meeting, it says.
Okay, so let me upgrade you to become a host and see if that's possible. I can make you a co-host at the moment. I can't make you a... Can you try now?
1 second. Okay, let me see. Yes, this saying photos.
Are you able to share it?
Yeah, I think so. 1 second. Done. Okay. Oxygenation, inflammation. Let's go back. I got it. Hold on a second.
Yeah, we were just able to see it.
Yeah, I know. But like I chose the wrong one. Let me put the right one. Okay, so here it is. Okay. Please give me 1 second. It is done. Yes, I can see that now.
In the meantime, if you have any questions, you can type it out so that I can read it out later for Dr. Sanjay to answer.
Okay. Okay, go to this particular page. Can you read all this, right? Can you see the things which is appearing in front of you?
Yes, I can.
Is can anyone,
All
everyone can see?
thumbs up if you can see it. So
Yeah.
those videos are open.
Okay. So see that like you have like in the bottom there's a title called cortisol. Can you see the cortisol?
Yep.
Yeah. So see there is a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that is the way, without doing the blood test, we can identify your cortisol level. Okay. So say for example, if you have allergies, so you have to see like where your allergies are from low to high. Okay. So again, same like hair fall, your allergies are directly related to the high cortisol level. If you have a more allergies, then it is the cortisol. Okay. Less allergy is low cortisol. Second is, do you have an autoimmune disease like such as arthritis or thyroid? If you have this, again autoimmune disease, if you have a very severe one, then you have a more cortisol, and then you have a less cortisol if you have a low number. Third one is a chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation means like sometime your body always have constant pain here, there, like sometime the knee pain, sometime the back pain, sometime like, like the pain in the hand, and like so many pains, keep coming and going. So there's an allergy keep coming, going, pains keep coming, going. Now come into the food that you like to eat a salty food. This is very interesting. Every person who has a high stress level, they love to eat salty food. So if you really crave for a salt, it means you are under stress. So this is the thing, like people see like if they have like a craving for the sweet, no, it is a craving for salt. If you're stressed, you will crave for a salt. Okay. Obviously, the people are diabetic people, we try to measure their cortisol level. And you see, diabetic people also lose a lot of hair. Okay, so hair loss is very common with the diabetic people. Difficult gaining weight. So this is the another thing. You see, like this is very interesting kind. Lot of obese people, if they are losing a weight, it's genetic. Okay. The most of the medium normal weight people and the less weight people has a lot of tendency to kind of things, because we are trying to relate with the stress. There are so many different factors, right? But if we relate to the stress, is directly related to the cortisol, and these are like the master list of the cortisol. Okay. Then some people, those who have like a swelling leg, we call the elephant leg. Okay, so elephant leg is like a fluid retention inside your body. Okay, so it means again the heart is not working properly, or body is not working properly to remove like a certain kind of fluid from your cell. Now this is very interesting. You see, it's called dilution. So we all heard about that we eat food, and after eating a food half an hour, we should not drink water. Why? Because the digestive juices will dilute. So the digestion will not take a proper course. So same here, when the body has too much water, the nutrients get diluted in a cellular level. There's a digestion layer, but in the cellular level, when there's too much water in the body, there's too much load. And that is why one of the type of like, okay, so let's put in this way. If you have a too much water, two things happen. There's a dilution of the nutrient in the body. Enough nutrient do not reach into the body. And then you get a high blood pressure because of the thing, dilution, because of the fluid retention. So that's why what happened, some kind of blood pressure medication is also, it's called diuretic. They try to remove the water from the body. Okay. Hypoglycemia is another kind of condition. So these are the things if you have. So I summarize into something very simple, that if you think like you have a lot of allergies, okay, if you have a salt craving and you have a pain, chronic pain, sometimes you cannot gain weight and all those kind of things, high pressure and the fluid retention. These are the symptoms of the stress, because cortisol is the stress hormone. When you have a stress, the cortisol level go up. Okay, so that's the one thing. Now there's another kind of things, especially for like, let's put like all kind of people. DHEA, like, you know, like we all talking about the omega-3, 6, 9, and DHEA is a one kind of hormone which basically get from the omega-3. And so if many people are like difficult to lose the weight, then it is related to that. Excess fat, inadequate muscle mass, that is also another a touching point. Last one, reduce athletic endurance, or I would say, like, if you get, like in a layman language, if you get tired. So these are a kind of a very simple thing you can test you are under stress, right? So what I touched today is basically talking about your neurotransmitter, which affects your heart and then affect the oxygen supply to the organ, and then directly related to the hair fall. Second is the stress brain give the indication to your perineal gland. It release the cortisol. When it comes to the cortisol become very high, it really create a lot of like hair fall and other stuff. Now cortisol is one way it is good because it reduce your stress, but it has so many side effects. It like really disturb your heartbeat, you really disturb your metabolism, it really disturb your like a breathing process, blood pressure, so many things, right? So this is the today's kind of like a summary. I said like which people usually don't understand very well. The two major part, one is the neurotransmitter affecting the heart, and then the heart function, and then the blood supply, and then finally the oxygen, and second is the cortisol level. With this, these are the two major factors, but with this, all other nutrient. So obviously when the main nutrient and main things are not reaching to the hair properly, or heart properly, or any organ, okay? So any organ inside the body we cannot see. Only two organ we can feel. We can feel heart and we can see hair. Heart we can see in form of palpitation, hair we can see in terms of falling the hair. Okay, so these are the two indication that you can catch at home. And people get worried like, why my hair is falling? Okay, so when your hair is falling, please monitor your heart and you will find something wrong going with your heart. Then monitor your mental status. You will find like, oh, you are unstable in some kind of thinking process. You are worried for certain things, right? So worries and all those kind of things are the indicator to support this neurotransmitters. So idea is, my suggestion to all of you, I'm just using certain keywords. Go into the Google, try to dig down every day a little bit more about it. So if you started digging down a little bit more about neurotransmitter and the balancing of the neurotransmitter. So what most of the people do, they will look the neurotransmitter. There's a lot of information about the function of the neurotransmitter and other things. But what we need to know is the balancing of it. Okay. Then you type the key, like how to search Google is also very important, it's tactful, right? You need to know how to put the keyword over there. So like for cortisol, you need to say like cortisol affecting hair fall, okay? Or cortisol affecting blood pressure, cortisol affecting heart health. Then you can see real information, okay? Or the side effect of cortisols, a benefit of the cortisols. So these are two things today I just use in my talk to give you. Cortisol is one. Please learn a lot about cortisol. If you really learn about cortisol, you can really manage your life very well. And second is overall the neurotransmitter, which will take some time in detail other day, right? But today is a keyword. I leave you with this keyword called cortisol. Okay, with this keyword, okay, you can solve a lot of problems. Please learn about it. Thank you.
So good. Thank you so much, Dr. Sanjay, for this very interesting topic that you touched upon. So there are a number of questions over here that the participants are asking. Somebody is asking, she's facing a lot of hair fall. She just touches the hair and hair just comes out. She's going through a lot of stress. So it seems quite clear with what you said that if somebody is going through a lot of stress, this is something they're going to be facing.
Yeah, cortisol.
Yeah. And she
blame cortisol.
Blame cortisol, okay. She also says that my thyroid antibodies, ATG and TPO is quite high in three-digit numbers. Could that be making the hair fall? And what do you advise to do to get these readings down? She checked her pulse yesterday. It showed around 111 or so. Is that normal?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Right now, nothing is normal, because if you see in my chart, I mentioned that the thyroid effect, right? So when the cortisol is very high, it affects all your thyroid function. That's why her thyroid function is like going over chart. Okay. And she was talking about the pulse rate, right? 111. Yeah. So it's not normal. She is already into tachycardia. So right now, if she is sitting right now, it's a normal resting stage. 111 is not a good rate. You should not never go over 100. That's the main message I gave. Like, people do not check their heart rate, right? If your heart is beating 72 times, when you sleep, your heart rate slow down. When you get excited or something happen, you are very happy, your heart rate become 80, 84, something like that. When you are doing exercise, then the only time period when your heart rate is started going up. But when you reduce exercise, it heart rate come back to the normal. So let's say like in between 72 to 80, right? So it means like your heart is not working extra hard, because it has to beat every minute throughout your life. So suppose someone's heart is beating 72 times, right? And other person heart is beating 90 times. So it's already 18 times more beating per minute. Multiply by number of hours, multiply by days, and multiply by years. That person's heart is working so much harder than the normal person, right? So that's what every person has to understand, that you have to really work around your heartbeat. If your heartbeat is very much under your control, you win the game of life. This is a very smart way of living. Some other time we'll touch upon it. So over 100 is tachycardia. So she is right now in a tachycardia situation, and she should go to the hospital and explain to the doctor that this is the situation in the resting situation, and do the further investigation. But definitely this is happening because of the high cortisol level. Okay. But sometime, yes, you have to remove the cause of. So the solution is like a lot of supplementation, change of lifestyle, remove the cause of the stress.
Yeah. Okay. So, so when you were talking about salt craving, some people are saying that they have a sweet craving. So extreme sweet craving. What does that indicate?
Yeah, that is because another point here is the hypoglycemia. Hypoglycemia in the sense like what happened, like diabetes is the situation where people have like insulin is not producing, is an imbalance of the sugar. So again, I go in the layman language. There's an imbalance of the sugar. The brain is not able to recognize the sugar level properly, so they have this craving of sugar kind of things, right? Due to the too much sugar intake. But again, the people who feel craving for the sugar or sweet, they are a little bit like a heavy people, right? Thin people don't feel crave for sugar. That's again, someone has to notice, like you need to see, if you have a weight, then only you get like a craving for sugar. If you don't have a weight, you don't crave for sugar.
Okay. So the other questions, those are very other common questions. Some people are like, I'm not facing hair fall, but I think I used the wrong product, which could cause a lot of flaky and dandruff, itchy and dry scalp. So it's saying could it be stress? But I also want to ask in terms of when people are choosing products these days, they are are all the chemicals that are in there causing hair fall as well?
Yeah, see what is happening, there's a short-term impact and there's a long-term impact. Short-term impact is like what we call the acute impact. So these days, like a lot of cosmetics or like any kind of, like you use the hair care, personal care, skin care product, right? And what most of the ladies don't understand, like they think they are buying the natural product, but it's very tactfully sold in the market. They say 100% natural, but what is 100% natural? It's an active ingredient is natural, but base is full of chemical. So the every cosmetic, every skincare, every hair care, every personal care are made of a two component. One is the base and one is the active ingredient. So you put a lotion which is very nice and very smooth and all those kind of things, is not a skincare. It's like a blend chemicals which you feel very good. And then we put like a few drops of aloe vera into it, or like lavender into it, and make it very smell, and you feel, wow, it's so nice. So that's where the whole commercialization of this skincare product being done. Okay, so like ladies has to understand like the complete, and they need to develop a complete new mindset that what is actually what they should learn about the skincare, and how to read the skincare label. When you go to shop the product, what you should read on the label. These are important things. So yes, chemical things is harming inside, outside, both.
Okay. If you have any more questions, just type it out. If not, then I will continue to ask. How about, you touched a little bit about nutrition. So you're saying if, how can, are there any particular types of nutrition that can help calm down the stress, so that can also help with the hair issues?
See, today, basically what I touched down with our particular experience, when your neurotransmitter is not working properly and the cortisol level is very high. So the most important thing is your thought process. If your thought process is not working properly, with the nutrition and supplement, it's really difficult to calm it. It can fix the body a little bit, but again, like you are like as a stimulator. Your thinking process is a stimulator. So you get all the good ingredients inside your body, but you're not helping your body. So as we say, the medicine always work 50%. 50% is your mind. Yeah, is what called the brain healing. So your positive thinking, mental support to words like your cure or healing is very important, along with the nutrient supplement. So yes, like people are like lacking the vitamins, people lacking minerals. There's a lot of nutrients people need lack. Like we should have like a separate seminar on that. Like what is the balanced diet? Again, balanced diet is no more like you need this much carbohydrate, this much protein, this much fat, minerals and vitamins. It's like much more than that, right? So most of us actually we eat tasty food. We don't eat a nutritious food. So our whole life is revolving around the taste. Okay, our life is not revolving around the nutrition. So we need to learn what is a nutritious food means. Okay, and then if that is not coming every day in your food, that's where the supplementation comes in. So you get the supplementation. For example, amla, it's a perfect source of vitamin C. Very common, like in India, like means gooseberry, one of the natural source. Ashwagandha is another one. It can like, it's an Indian ginseng, right? It can balance out like a lot of your like brain chemicals kind of stuff. So there's so many of them, right? So if the people do not have a good eating habit, they should go for the supplementation, but with supplementation, they should go for the mental, a positive thinking process is extremely important. Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is that one solution on its own doesn't completely help, because if you're taking part of the nutrition, but if you're not taking care of the stress levels, it's still not really.
No. Yeah. It's a holistic, like you have to like, it's a 360 degree. Yeah, it's a 360 degree. Like that's what it is. That's what it is. Like, see, I always like make this kind of like a casual thing. Like a lot of my friends, they go to like a central to do yoga. I say, what's the point of doing yoga and you come out and breathe all dirty airs, right? So all the effort you make during yoga is null and void when you breathe a lot of like polluted air. So that's what it is. Like you have to make a checklist, right? And then you have to balance, you have to tick the checklist. Like, see what is happening, like today's world, the biggest challenge around us is we have a lot of invisible yes, I will use the word uh, enemies, right? Whether it is with life or without life. We have a chemicals, we have a pesticides, we have like dust, we have like allergens. Now we have like this biological problem like bacteria, viruses, diseases. The and then we have like this lifestyle, the food, like the restaurants, like more and more fancy dishes, more and more like a packaged food which is using a beautiful color, preservatives, good looking food. So we are getting tapped into good looking food, tasty food, and all those kind of things. So this is the things people need to understand. And very interesting thing, what America left in 1990, India picked up in 2020. That's bad. Okay, when the one world is like really understood, like they started 1960s 70s and they said, hey, this is the baddest stuff, we don't have to touch it, and they slowly started dephasing it. Then rest of the world, like especially in India, we started picking up as a new product because it was a new introduction. So what is very important is we have to understand like what is the latest from the scientific point of view, and we have to stick with that latest thing. Okay, what is new in India, what new I know, it doesn't matter. It's your personal thing. You have to see what is new in the world, where the world is going ahead today in terms of the technology. Then only you can handle the things better. Yeah. Okay.
Good. Any more final questions before we close the session?
Yeah.
You can unmute yourself and ask as well.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sanjay. It was very informative. Some of the things are very new to me. And, I really enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did talk about neurotransmitters. And can you provide some link or some website where I can go and learn more about it?
Do you use Pinterest?
No.
Okay, so I think like you started subscribing Pinterest. Okay, you can subscribe it.
Okay.
And you just write a neurotransmitter there. You can get a lot of beautiful, because these days there's a lot of infographics is there.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you can get, or you like we can provide you certain things, like if you keep in contact with us, like we can provide you some more information on that. Absolutely no problem. Okay. But try to get a more information through the infographics, which you get a lot in Pinterest, and which you can subscribe. So you have a Gmail or any email thing, you just go to the Pinterest and subscribe it. So they keep sending you, but you put the neurotransmitter. So if you put a neurotransmitter, you can get a lot of those neurotransmitter information to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, all right, pleasure. Thank you.
So one final thing before we leave. I mean, we are all going through very stressful times. Somebody is saying that, yes, stress is something we need to remove, but during these stressful times, it's very difficult. People are going through a lot of difficult real life situations in their life. So how does one really better their health even while facing such stressful situations during COVID?
See, that is the thing. Right now, it's all about, you see why the COVID is spreading and all those kind of things, because we are not able to control our emotion, right? Human being has a lot of expectation from their life. Okay. So the whole thing is that like, it's slowing down your life. Actually, if you see like 30 years back, the way human being used to live, our lifestyle become at least 100 times faster than as compared to last 30 years. That's the problem. That's it. So my simple one-line advice is, remember your life in 1990s. Just go back to that life and everything will be okay, right? The interesting thing is you start noticing that how your life has changed from 1990 to 2020. Just this last 30 years, the whole world went upside down. Okay, so many things. If not 1990, even start from millennium, even 2000 till now, last 20 years, it was crazy. The human being gone like crazy around the world. I don't know what they are running after. They have everything, but they lost the peace. Okay, that's what it is. I'm not a saint or like a guru kind of things, but that's the reality in science. That's what's happening, right? We are running after something, we don't know what we are running after. So the speed of the life has increased our biological process so much. There's so much things going on inside our body. Our body is not designed like that, right? So obviously the stress will take its own place. So we have to deal with the stress. The small stress is always good. It's always helpful, right? But then when it is stretching too much, it's started affecting. So the only answer is, please slow down. Accept it, whatever it is, right? That's my answer.
I mean, I do, just to add to that, I have more and more clients that come to me and say, well, our kids are getting gray hair. It was not the case. So it's like you can see how even aging has really, there's a big shift in how people are aging.
Okay, some other time we'll talk about this, parenting. Okay, parenting is very, very big challenge today. Okay, I know so many people like putting the values to the kid is that is why I say there are so many things hiding inside like 1990s and now. Like there is a like people don't like it, but this is the fact. Like in Hong Kong, we say like A for Armani, B for Benz, C for Calvin Klein. We learn A for apple, B for boy, C for cat. Teach your kid A for apple, B for boy, C for cat. Okay, if the kids is carrying iPhone at this age, you can't solve the problem. Sorry, that's the reality of the life, right? This is the reality of the life. Is a parenting is too much challenging right now. If you lot to learn about it, like me is just like as a blend between the philosophies. I think the parents has to take 2 steps backward, sit back, reevaluate their life, and they have to see like what they are giving to their kids, and that's how they have to start all over again. Veena, I'm sorry, I have to run. So I will like to close this session right now. So I have to like, yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for attending the session. And Naveda is designed to offer solutions which are natural and scientific put together. So if you have any hair loss or health concerns, please contact us. You can like us on our Facebook page. You can contact us. My number is 27134-134, and we can help you address sort of hair issues that you or your family or friends may be going through. All right. So thank you so much again, once again. Tomorrow we'll be having a therapeutic yoga session for stress release. The timing is going to be posted. I think it's at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be on Zoom and Facebook Live. So if you'd like to attend, please feel free to attend once again. So thank you again, once again. And yes, hope to see you all. Hope you've enjoyed today's session, and hope to see you all soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.